You can sell absolutely everything, and one thing probably holding you back is thinking that what you have is not enough to be able to make money from. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you 7 mistakes you need to avoid if you want to have success on Instagram with your online business now and in 2022. But before we get started, let me quickly give you a quick introduction. My name's Harry. I help coaches and consultants to grow their business to 6 figures on Instagram purely through organic marketing. Okay, now back to the video. What I'm going to go through today is a post I made on Instagram quite a while ago now. I'll probably repost it soon. But I made it a while ago and it's titled 7 mistakes I made when I started on Instagram. I'm going to run through them quickly one by one, just highlight the mistake and why it is a mistake and probably what you should be looking at doing instead. Now, number 1, the first thing, trying to figure out everything on your own. Now, if you're serious with Instagram, if you're serious about building it to build a business, then it is stupid and it is foolish, however you want to say it. It's really stupid to try and figure it all out by yourself just for the sake of trying to figure it out by yourself. Now, there are some things, there are going to be some aspects of the journey which you do need to figure out by yourself, right? And that's, again, I covered that in another video, but there are things you have to figure out by yourself, but by no means you have to figure it all out by yourself. And if you are someone who is sat there and you have, if you have the privilege of having a well-paying job, or if you have the privilege of having money in terms of savings account, or if you have parents or a partner who can lend you money, or if you can have a credit card or loan, whatever it is, if you have the privilege of having access to money, then pay to learn, right? I wish I had done it sooner. I wasted 3 to 4 years of learning everything on my own, when instead I could have paid someone to teach me exactly what works. And where I am now, I could have been 3 years ago, and instead I wasted 3 years. And that 3 years, of course, it's not completely wasted. There's a lot I learned within that time. But in a business sense, I have lost so much potential opportunities. I've lost so much income because I did not invest in myself. It's like if you're looking to invest in yourself, one quick thing is that, yes, the price of an investment can be very high sometimes. It's a high investment, for example, to join my program, but the price of not investing in yourself is extremely 10 times, 100 times more, right? And we can do the maths on that in a post or in another video, but just bear that in mind. So don't try to figure it all out by yourself, number 1. Number 2, following the crowd. Now, it's very easy to kind of fall into this, and to a certain extent, you do need to kind of be aware of trends. You need to be aware of what other people are doing to understand what is working and to understand what's going to work best for you. But at the end of the day, if you get stuck into the cycle of, for example, if you're creating content or building out an offer or building out your strategy, and you just go and copy what other people are doing, you are never going to be able to be unique. You're never going to be able to stand out, and you're never going to be able to have the growth in terms of followers and business growth that you're looking for, because you're always limited by what other people are doing, right? So the best way to kind of have that success is to be able to stand out and be different. Mistake number 3, thinking you know best, right? And obviously, look, I'm saying all these mistakes because this is what I've done myself. At one point, I thought I knew best. I thought I knew what the best content is. I thought I knew what the best business model is. I thought I knew what the best sales tactics were, or I thought I knew what my audience wanted, or I thought I knew what my clients wanted. Look, if you think you know everything, again, I just say how it is, you're an idiot. You're being really stupid. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. There is not anyone on this planet who knows everything about something, right? There's always something we can learn, always something new to be learned with absolutely anything and everything on this planet. So do not go around thinking you know best, because if you do, honestly, it's such a big mistake. You will miss opportunities, miss certain things, miss chances. You will not listen to feedback, and you just will not get where you want to get to. Okay, next one. Number 4 is the opposite to that, is thinking you know nothing. Right, now this is a really big limiting belief that I see a lot of people have. And when I'm jumping on calls with people, and even when I'm jumping on calls with my clients in my program, a lot of them, or some of them at least, struggle with charging what it is they're worth, because they don't think they know enough, right? And it's a shame, because we all have something we can teach. We all have a particular transformation. We all have a story. We all have an outcome we've achieved, or a lesson we've learned, or a process we've been through. We all have that one thing that we can use and we can talk about. And I think the reality is that what's happened over time is that, for example, if you see me with my marketing, I'm marketing my business success. And it's quite a big thing. So for the average person looking at this, they're thinking, well, how can I build a business similar to yours when I don't have that success to market? And I completely understand that. But the reality is that we all start from zero. We all start from having nothing. And it's actually the steps you take on that journey is what you can sell, right? So when I started on Instagram and I went from 0 to 10,000 followers, that was part of my journey. I could sell that. I could sell that process. The sheer fact of me getting on Instagram, having the confidence to get on Instagram, start creating content, I could sell that. You can sell absolutely everything. And one thing probably holding you back is thinking that what you have is not enough to be able to make money from. In this day and age, you have access to literally the entire planet, or most of the planet, billions of people on social media. You can sell whatever you like, as long as you understand the principles and how to do that. Okay. Number 5, blaming everything and everyone but yourself. Okay. Now, I've mentioned this in some of the most recent videos, but you really need to take responsibility for every single thing that happens to you, even things that you might think are outside of your control. You need to take responsibility for, because at the end of the day, when you're in control, you decide what results you get. And it's a liberating thing to be able to understand that every action you take causes something to happen, in terms of it causes something to happen that you want to happen, right? Or maybe you don't want it to happen, but at the end of the day, it's your fault, right? So when you understand that, that you're responsible for everything, you start to take more responsibility, and that forces you in some way to think. It forces you to become better at what it is you do. Because as long as you blame other people, as long as you blame everything else but yourself, you will never put in the effort to become better, because you're literally saying, well, it's not me, it's them, or it's not me, it's the algorithm. But that mindset will not get you anywhere. So it needs to stop right away. Number 6, only consuming on Instagram. Big mistake, big mistake this one is. When I first started, and this is not recent, this is when I started on Instagram a long time ago now on my other pages, all I would do is just get on my phone and just scroll on Instagram. Nothing else, just on Instagram. And that is an issue, because it creates tunnel vision, and it limits your thought process to one platform, right? I can't remember the exact phrase for it, but essentially what you're doing is you're putting yourself into a certain mindset, and you can't get out of it, right? Or you're consuming certain information that is biased, or that has a certain tendency to lean one way or the other, right? And if you put yourself in that situation, it then becomes very difficult to get out of that, and it becomes very difficult to actually create better content and become better, because you're limited to that one thing. So what I highly recommend is, when you're consuming content, when you're consuming material to, whether it's just for entertainment, just for anything, entertainment or for education or for motivation, whatever it is for, consume across multiple platforms. So use Instagram, use TikTok, use Twitter, use Facebook, use all the social media platforms. But more importantly, get off social media, read books, go to events, watch films, watch documentaries, listen to podcasts, listen and consume and watch, read all the different types of mediums you can, because the more you can do that, the greater the amount of information, the greater the variety of information you can consume. Ultimately, the better judgment you can make on what actions you should be taking, what content you should be creating, ultimately what works and what doesn't work. Okay, final mistake number 7, not learning from other people's mistakes. Okay, so quite an ironic one for this, but look, if you're watching this video and you're at this stage in the video and you've listened to the past 6 mistakes I've mentioned, out of all these mistakes, the biggest mistake you'll make now is not listening to what I've just told you, right? Because if you're watching this video, chances are you probably want a similar outcome to what I've done. You probably want to grow on Instagram, you probably want to grow a business or something similar. And if you want to achieve that, then you need to avoid these mistakes, right? And if you don't avoid these mistakes, then again, you're just being stupid, right? You really are being stupid, and you're shooting yourself in the foot, and you're delaying that success for absolutely no reason. And there's a quote here that I added to this post, and it says, "It takes a wise man to learn from his mistakes, but an even wiser man to learn from others." So just think about that, okay? It's super important that you learn from your own mistakes, but to be able to learn from other people's mistakes, that is super important as well. And another quick quote that I heard recently, I love quotes and you'll hear me say them all the time, but another one I heard recently, it said something like, a wise man takes advice, but only a fool wouldn't, right? So it's like, you will hear time and time again to only take advice from certain people. And I agree to that. I do agree to some extent. But you should always listen to what people say. You should always listen to feedback you get, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether that feedback comes from a billionaire. It doesn't matter whether that feedback comes from a millionaire, or someone earning 6 figures, or someone earning nothing, or someone who's in a different part of the world. It doesn't matter who that advice comes from. You should listen to it, right? It doesn't mean you have to act on it. It doesn't mean you have to do what they say, but you should listen to it. So right now, if you're listening to this video or watching this video, whether you agree with me, or whether you don't agree with me, listen to what I'm saying and just think about it, right? Just think about these mistakes. Think about the impact it could have on yourself, your business, your growth, if you keep making these mistakes. Okay, so that's all I'm asking for you. You don't have to follow this. You just have to think about it. Okay? So that about wraps up this video. I appreciate you watching. If you agree, disagree, if you have your own mistakes you want to talk about, drop them into the comments below. And check out this video here. I'm going to put up a video. I'm going to give you the 4 habits. It's a good video. 4 habits to help me go to 100,000 followers on Instagram. So click here if you want to go and watch that. If not, don't worry. Make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video. Drop that comment like I said. Subscribe if you want to obviously see my future videos. But other than that, I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video.